What is up, YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018. Back to Baek Battles. Today, we're using the Rain team once again with Pelipper, Swampert, Tapu Lele, Zapdos, Ferrothorn, and Muck. If you haven't seen the last episode, I highly recommend go checking it out. It was one crazy episode, I feel like. But let's just get started with today's team. Well, today's episode, but yeah, last episode was absolutely insane. Again, I highly recommend go checking out. A lot of cool teams, a lot of fun battles, just a really intriguing episode, and I highly recommend go checking it out if you haven't already seen it. But let's continue with today's episode and see how this goes. The Rain team has been doing a lot of work. It's definitely one of the strongest teams I felt like that I've used on the series, just because I feel like Rain is super strong. Like teams that are unprepared for, like Rain can have a lot of good matchups. I'm surprised we haven't found a Feeny yet, really, because I don't think we faced a Feeny yet. I would like to use Pharaoh and Muck a bit more, but we'll see if we can find matchups where they can be really useful. It's usually been Swampert, Pelipper, Lele, and Zapdos. Looks like we got a team here. It's going to be the Gengar, Como, Gastrodon, Incineroar, Tapu Bulu, and Zapdos. Okay. Did I face this team? No, I don't think I have. It's interesting, though. Like, Pharaoh does really well against my opponent's team. I just don't really like bringing it. I feel like Pelipper Swampert is okay against my opponent's team. And I like Lele in the back for sure. I think Lele is very valuable in this matchup. And Zapdos for Tailwind? Pharaoh could also be nice. Muck could also be pretty good actually here, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm really looking at Pharaoh though. Like, Pharaoh is looking really good against my opponent's team, but I'll bring Muck because I'm pretty sure Como carries Flamethrower, and I think Incineroar might be brought to this game, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not exactly too familiar with how this matchup is supposed to go. Well, I have faced a lot of Como and Gengar, but I haven't faced a lot of like the partners with the Gastrodon and Incineroar options, which could come into play, especially the Gastrodon. So, Pelipper Swampert might be Bulu plus Gengar? Bulu plus Como, okay. Let's see who's faster between the Bulu and the Pelipper. It's gonna be Bulu faster, okay. Am I fine trading Swampert for the Como? I am. Hurricane plus Ice Punch will get rid of Como. I don't need Swampert as much because of the back Pokemon. Most likely, I don't feel like Swampert's too useful. I could see Pelipper going for Protect here. I could definitely see that as a play. I mean, not Protect. What am I saying? I could see a double up into the Pelipper slot. I could see... I don't know. I don't think Bulu's much of a threat if I still have my Muck around, which is why I want to keep Muck around. We'll see, though. I definitely want to get rid of Como because Como can do a lot of damage to my Muck, which is definitely a key member in this game. And it can just, like... It can just go through my team with Clang Scales. Like, my opponent doesn't really have a reason not to click, like, Clang Scales afterwards. So, I get an Ice Punch off into Como. So that's doing a really good amount there, as Woodhammer's going to come out. It's Scarf? I think it's Scarf, yeah. That should be Scarf. As Emu's going to come out from the Como, okay. Soul Blaze knocks out my Pelipper, does a lot to my Swampert. That's a more offensive Como. And, Grassy Terrain healing the Como isn't that great for me. Yeah, it's Scarf Bulu. That has to be Scarf Bulu. Okay. I could go for a double trade right now. Go into Lele, Ice Punch to Bulu, and Moonblast to Como. I could also go into Muck and Poison Jab Protect, but I think Lele is fine here with Psychic Terrain. I want to save Shout Psyche even though Como could protect here. I do want to go for Moonblast because I don't feel like Como's much of a threat here. Ice Punch should be able to knock out Bulu at this range. And yeah, I just want to Ice Punch the Bulu. I could see Como protecting here, which definitely could be big for me. But right here, I want to get rid of Bulu and potentially knock out Como. I think we're going to trade maybe Swampert for both of my opponent's Pokemon here. Which is what I'm really expecting here, to be honest. But we'll find out. Maybe my opponent has a defensive switching in the back. I don't think Como will ever switch out, though. Bulu could switch out. We'll see here, though. Incineroar is going to be annoying to deal with, as well as Gastrodon, though. But those Pokemon were already problematic to start. I do think you might protect Como in case I'm like Scarflele. The Scarflele would give you a very hard time. So Bulu is going to retreat, okay. Into Incineroar. And Como's going to protect, okay. That actually really works in my favor, actually. Ice Punch the Incineroar. Moonblast into the Como. Ice Punch should knock out the Como at this range, and I could just fire off a Moonblast in Incineroar. I don't think Incineroar can knock out my Swampert, to be honest. So I'm just going to Ice Punch a Moonblast because I don't see a reason not to, because I should be able to knock out Como. And there's also maybe a potential that Incineroar could switch out on a Bulu, potentially. But right here, I don't see a reason not to just get the damage onto Incineroar that I need, as Como's going to switch out. Okay. Into Gastrodon. Oh, baiting. Okay. That's fine. Get an Ice Punch off. Into Gastrodon. Weaken it. Get a crit, which helps. Moonblast going to come out. No Gengar, which is really good for my team. Moonblast. Good damage and knock off into the Lele. Yeah, that's not going to do much. Like at all, yeah. Yeah, if it's knockoff, it can KO me. So Shout Psyche should be free in a Gastrodon. And I really want to throw off an Ice Punch into the Incineroar, expecting Bulu to come in, to be honest. So I'm actually going to Ice Punch the Incineroar. And Shout Psyche. Shout Psyche should get me a KO on the Gastrodon slot very easily. I could protect Earthquake, which is why I feel like my opponent doesn't... might go in a Bulu here. Which is, again, fine because I'm weakening all my opponent's team. And again, my opponent can knock out Swampert, and Swampert's still looking to do a lot of work to my opponent's team. Because Gastrodon's actually going to protect. So I could have protected Earthquake. Unfortunate. I mean, I do get an Ice Punch into the Incineroar. And a Shout Psyche into the Gastrodon. Might be AV Incineroar now that I'm thinking about it. Knockoff is usually AV Incineroar. So I'm going to do a lot with Shout Psyche. I just hope I don't proc a Wiki Berry. If it's like a Citrus Berry, I don't mind. Gastrodon carrying Protect. Okay. Sometimes Gastrodon doesn't run Protect, which is why I felt like I was fine with the Shout Psyche play. Okay, it's not Berry activated. Knock off in the Lele. Does that knock out? Yeah. Okay. I still think I'm fine. I actually think I can win. With Como plus Swampert, I could Earthquake here. Pick up a KO, unless Incineroar switches out into Bulu here. Which I'm not sure if you're going to do here. I will protect Earthquake. I should protect If I protect Earthquake, I felt like this game was over. Already. But I was worried about like Gastrodon having Scald, being able to knock out Swampert. My opponent gives me both Pokemon, it looks like, so this is not over by a long shot. Goes for a double with Gastrodon, okay. So I'm going to get an Earthquake off. Going to finish off the Incineroar plus Gastrodon. This is last turn of Rain, if I remember correctly. So I got to be careful about that. Do knock out the Bulu plus the Gastrodon. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Rain stops. Okay. Bulu comes out. I don't feel like this is a bad... I don't feel like it's bad at all. Bulu. My opponent already used the Z move with the Como. The Bulu's weakened, so Poison Jab 100% knocks it out. Como's already weakened, which is really good for my team. I could just Poison Jab and Protect, I feel, because, like, the worst case is, like, Como subs or crits. Don't crit me. But it has to be a lot of special attack, and Muk can easily eat special attacks, even with a double up with Bulu. Nature's Madness won't help. my opponent because of the fact that I would have my berry with Muck. So Poison Jab is just very safe, and I'm also weakening the Como's defense stats, which is really good. We already confirmed it with Scarf Bulu early on in the game because there's no way it's faster than Como at +1 without a Scarf. I also wonder who's faster between the Swampert and Como. I'm guessing it's the Como, but we'll find out. Protect. Oh, my opponent's going for that. Okay, that could change the game. It is sub, okay. Okay, nice. We don't flinch. Let's secure it. Nice. I don't even think Clanging Scales knocks out Swampert at this range, so I could just Ice Punch Poison Jab. Very nice. So my opponent was going for the flinch there, and luckily didn't get it, so now I can just throw off Poison Jabs and Ice Punches and should be able to win the game. Very intriguing of a game. I don't feel like I played that optimally, especially since I could have went for Earthquake. But luckily my opponent was just giving me the, Wait, did I Earthquake myself? Or did I Ice Punch? Please tell me I Ice Punched. Because that could have been bad. But, yeah, luckily just my opponent didn't have Gengar in the back, which was so crucial in this game because Gengar was probably the Pokemon I was fearing in the back because it could outspeed my Lele and cause some problems with, like, Disable. But luckily my opponent didn't bring it, and that was just able to help me so much in that matchup. Just, Lele was able to put in a lot of work, weakening the Gastrodon to where Earthquake could KO it. And Swampert, again, putting in a lot of work. Like, my opponent always was, like, forced to switch after turn 1 because my opponent opts to KO the Swampert turn 1, so like Swampert just got a lot of damage off to my opponent's team. Also really interesting to see the Como switch out. You don't really see Como switching out after a boost because you can no longer get that boost once again, but luckily ended up working out. But I guess my opponent was like, okay, Como could be good in a late game situation, so I think I'll save it. And luckily with that mindset, I like the rest of my team was just able to handle because of not having a boost to Como. And like even if my opponent would have lost Como if you stayed in, and at that case like Gastrodon was going to be a bit more difficult to handle, I felt like, if like Como went down. But we got our second opponent from Japan with the team of Manectric, Tapu Fini, Landorus, Tyranitar, Celesteela, and Mimikyu. So what I'm assuming off the bat, Psychic Seed, Misty Seed on the Celesteela most likely. My opponent's Rain matchup is really not that great. I think this is a game I can bring Pharaoh. Yeah, this is a game I can absolutely bring Pharaoh in. I could go, what? Pelipper Swampert seems okay. Like, Swampert just does so much work against my opponent's team already. I think I'm going to lead Pelipper Swampert since I don't see a reason not to. Pelipper Swampert have Pharaoh and Lele in the back. I like Lele a lot in this matchup. For damage output, I'm just worried about, like, Celesteela. Maybe I should have Zapdos in the back, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring Zapdos. I think, like, Lele, it's good in this matchup. It's just, I want an extra answer to Celesteela. Because Celesteela could be such a big problem. We'll find out here. It's not a bulky Celesteela. It's a more offensive variant, probably with acrobatics they run on this team. So I will lead Pelipper Swampert. Could be, I think Celesteela plus Fini could be a lead, actually. But it's Manectric Fini, which works out in my favor. Honestly, I really just want to click Waterfall. I could also go into Pharaoh. I want to go into Pharaoh and Waterfall. I also really want to Earthquake and maybe switch out to Zapdos though. So there are a bunch of options that I have. I really want to Waterfall Manectric because I feel like that would still pick up the knockout though. I'm actually going to switch out to Pharaoh and Waterfall. I am kind of worried if my opponent does go out into Tyranitar here, That's kind of risky switching Tyranitar. So Pelipper gonna switch out. Manectric look like stays in. I get Pharaoh in. Manectric gonna Mega Evolve. Okay. So that means Zapdos is free to spam Thunderbolt later in the game, which I do not mind. Gets an Intimidate off onto both my Pokemon, which is annoying, but it's alright. Alright. Alright, Swampert, show me how much you do, potentially, or if you just protect. Yeah, you just protect, okay. So I Waterfall into the Manectric, and Muddy Water is going to come out. Swampert avoids, which is actually huge, because that's a lot of damage that would have been taken. It's not, I would have probably assumed it would do... It's not Specs. Okay, yeah, that's not Specs. I'm just going to Power Whip the Feeny, and I think Earthquake... Earthquake knocks out Manectric at -1, I believe, and I'd rather go for it than him getting a Flamethrower off. As we're going to see Feeny switch out, is that Celesteela coming in? Tyranitar. Oh, this could be big. Earthquake will get the Manectric, I feel like. It should. I think my opponent expected another Waterfall, but I don't mind Earthquaking myself if I can KO the Feeny, which was my original plan, but I don't knock out the Manectric. But I do get a lot of damage off. It's Overheat in a Pharaoh. Oh man, my opponent can't hit attacks for my opponent's life. I didn't even mind if Overheat missed because I get a free switch into Pelipper and King Earthquake again. Very unfortunate for my opponent. I don't feel like I needed that, but now like my Feeny matchup's a lot easier to handle. That sucks for my opponent though. For sure. Celesteela's gonna come in. Is Pharaoh useful still? It is. But at the same time, I have like the Zapdos for these combinations. Wait, it's not Misty Seed. Selly, I just realized. Like, I honestly would have probably preferred to free switch into Pelipper. But I guess this is... I can't complain because that also is like okay for me as well. I'll just protect Power Whip because I really don't need Pharaoh in this matchup. And I can see Volt Switch if you expect my Pelipper to come in. Yeah. In a Swampert. Oh, my opponent expected that. Okay. Or just covered with the Flamethrower basis. Okay, that works too. I guess it depends on what Beast Boost you get. Special Defense. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but it's not the worst. I'm going to get Pelipper with the Rain up. Then I think I'm going to go hard Zapdos and just Waterfall the Celesteela. Because I want the Rain up. I'm pretty sure you're going to hard switch the Manectric and Leech Seed, I think. I'm going to go into Zapdos and Waterfall the... Or I could Earthquake here because if Feeny hard switches, I could get the chip damage I need. But Waterfall on the Celesteela looks so tempting right now. I want damage on that Celesteela so I can knock it out because Celesteela gone is really big. I don't have to worry about Leech Seed recovery all the time. My opponent's staying in. Are you sacking Manectric here or are you potentially protecting? Oh, okay. Would have sacked the Manectric, it looks like. Volt Switch here, which is okay too. Because that didn't do much. And then Feeny comes in. What does Celesteela go for? Heavy Slam, okay. Doubling up? Yeah. That did a lot. Leftover Celesteela, okay. As much as I do want to... I think I'll just Earthquake and Roost here. Get the recovery. Like, I want 2 hits on the Feeny. Oh, as my opponent actually switches out Feeny, which is perfect. Because I get an Earthquake, knock out the Manectric, and I get the Roost recovery. So my opponent trying to get rid of the... Get rid of my Swampert's damage output here, but I don't mind that. Earthquake. Into the Manectric. We'll pick up the knockout. Nice. A Thunderbolt in the Celesteela would have also been really good, but I feel like Roost is just an overall better play here. Get that recovery up. Leech Seed gonna go out into Zapdos. Yep. Okay. So Celesteela is still gonna be annoying. The way I beat it is probably with my Swampert. Thunderbolt should be able to knock out Feeny. If I get rid of Feeny, I should be able to win the game with Swampert spamming Waterfall. So I always go for Thunderbolt twice in the Feeny no matter what. Zapdos should be able to outspeed the Feeny. So I have his Thunderbolt here into Feeny, and I'm going to switch out Reset those Intimidates going to Pelipper. My opponent could read this though, but I'm not sure if Moonblast and the Heavy Slam can knock out Pelipper. So Thunderbolt going to come out into the Feeny. Nice to a KO. Unless Calm Mind, but it's a Muddy Water instead. That's alright. Oh, that does a lot to Zapdos. Heavy Slam going to come out. That's not going to pick up a KO. It's down the Pelipper, actually. Okay. Is that Specs Feeny? I don't think it is. It might be, though. I want to say it's Specs, maybe. You know what? I'm going to Thunderbolt again, and I'm going to hard switch into Swampert. Or maybe I just Scald. I'm going to Scald the Celesteela. Yeah, Thunderbolt's going to go out to Feeny. No Protect here. I think that is Specs. Okay, Feeny goes down. Scald into Celesteela. Heavy Slam going to come out probably in the Zapdos. Pick up that knockout. Oh, it's in the Pelipper. Which is fine. It's +2 special defense though, so maybe Celesteela can beat me. This Celesteela endgame is going to be hard. I should maybe hard switch, but I thought my opponent would try to get rid of Zapdos there. Because I was worried, like, if I got no damage on the Celesteela, like, I could get damage on the Celesteela, you knock out Zapdos, and then what happened is, like, Swampert and Pelipper in, and there's only one turn of Rain left anyway, so I thought getting the damage off was better. I guess I'll Roost here and Waterfall. I could get the Flinch, I get good damage on the Celesteela. If Celesteela protects, I get, like, the Roost off. Yeah. So I Waterfall. And Roost. And then I think I Roost again and Protect. Yeah, because that allows my Zapdos to get full health recovery. Like, I get any chance to flinch and crit my opponent. This endgame doesn't look good. I Protect. Because he probably Leech Seed the Swampert. I guess you could Flamethrower Zapdos in theory, but I wouldn't allow me. Like, I would try to get the most recovery if possible. So, Roost. Yeah, Leech Seed and Swampert. So now my Zapdos is pretty healthy here. And I'll go for maximum damage output with Waterfall plus Thunderbolt. If I get a flinch here, it should be the game. Okay, we're going to see Protect, which is fine. Because Zapdos is still healthy. Leech Seed. Thunderbolt and Waterfall. Waterfall should still do a good amount, even though it's not rain boosting. Thunderbolt should still do like 20%. Yeah, like 25. If I get one flinch here, it should be game. Or miss. Nope. Leftovers plus Leech Seed. Oh, no. Like, I could still crit. I still have chances to flinch. I still think like I'm in an okay position. But this is going to be a long stall one. Because you're going to protect here. I roost and waterfall. Yeah, because I think you always protect here. Because I think you might be in range of Thunderbolt plus waterfall. Yeah. Roost. No, a Celesteela is 1v2ing a Swampert, a Mega Swampert, and a Zapdos by itself. Yeah, I think it goes back to full. I think I might need like I might need like a full paralysis. I might need something. I need something. Flinch doesn't help. A Thunderbolt Para would be really nice here. Because I could potentially full para him on protects. Like, I'm taking a lot, and my opponent's recovering. A crit would also be nice with Thunderbolt, because I think that would just seal the game. Thunderbolt. I do get the para, so I can also flinch too. Beautiful. Waterfall. Flamethrower, okay. And a Swampert trying to get the burn? Okay, I thought it would be like trying to get the burn on the Zapdos. And I will always Thunderbolt here, because I don't need to roost yet. And if my opponent gets paralyzed, like Thunderbolt in a waterfall does allow me to KO him. So I'll take this chance. That's exactly what I needed. Well, eventually I was probably going to get a crit anyway, and a crit would do like 80, but still. We'll see. Doesn't get it. I need him to get parried on one turn where he gets, where he goes for protect. The odds are still in my favor, and I still have chances to crit. This is such a long, drawn-out game, though. I still have chances to crit. And you can still be fully parried. Waterfall. Should I went for the freeze instead? No, I think Waterfall is always the better play. Thunderbolt's still doing a good amount. Waterfall. I don't need... Okay, yeah, I don't need you to be paralyzed here, but I need you to be paralyzed the next turn. Because that would be really beneficial. If my opponent gets paralyzed here, the game's over. And there's a 1 out of 4 chance, and that was the third turn my opponent didn't get paralyzed. So, game, show me you are good with numbers. Okay, this game's good with numbers. Okay, but it would have probably came down to Zapdos versus Celesteela 1v1. I think Celesteela can win, but it depends on, one, Thunderbolt Para is probably eventually going to happen with all the Thunderbolts. 2, I had a bunch of chances to crit, and I think a Thunderbolt crit on that Celesteela would do like 80%. So that Celesteela was probably never going to be at full health, so I just needed 1 crit eventually. It's a 4% chance. Apparently, did you know that Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, 7th gen, they changed the crit ratio from 6.25% chance, which was generation 6, to like 4.1 something in 7th gen? I had no idea. We actually recently found out about that, which is really interesting. But eventually I was trying to get a crit. Pressure could stall out my opponent. I don't know if I had enough roost though to stall it out. So I don't know. I feel like it comes down to, does my opponent get parried? Do I get a crit eventually? I think it just comes down to that, basically. Because I don't think Celesteela is going to be healing enough from just Zapdos alone. But thank you all for tuning in today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below, show your support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below. My social medias, the side series on the channel, previous episodes of Back to Back Battles. If you have missed them, you can check out the playlist down below. And if you want to try out the team, there's a paste bin of it down below as well in the description. Otherwise, yeah, feel free to leave a comment down below as I do read them. But otherwise, yeah, catch you around in another video. Have a great day, people. See you around soon.